Can you do the magic trick that Jimmy Woo does?
I don't have my cards here now. Or do I? I didn't tell JD, but we're back for another 5 things. And this time we're talking about WandaVision, but in the context of what's happening next after WandaVision. So we're going to talk about where a few characters are, and also some things that are set up. And maybe we'll touch on Bucky and Falcon a little bit. And it's been 9 weeks. It's felt like an eternity. 8 weeks.
Yeah. Remember they did the first two first.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. You're right.
But yes, no, you're right. It's actually felt like 80 weeks.
Yeah, because that's just life in COVID times.
Right. I think it's just that you look forward to something so much and then you're like, God, it's Monday again.
So yeah, WandaVision, as we know, everyone, this is going to be spoiler heavy. We already know what's happened. So where we see her end up in WandaVision is, she accepts who she is. She accepts her grief and moves past it and lets go of Vision, lets go of her kids, puts Agatha in the worst prison of all time. Then we get the post-credit scene where she is astral projected herself and is reading the Darkhold while she's just sipping on some tea.
I'm like, no one else is there. Like, well, that's just my opinion. I'm like, why are you astral projecting? No one else is around you.
I think it proves to us as the audience that, yeah, she's stronger than Doctor Strange because he basically had to go into a coma to do it. Whereas she can just do it and just continue living her life. I assume at some point Doctor Strange is going to feel that power, or Mordo is going to show up in Doctor Strange 2. I mean, we already know he's in the movie, but I feel like they're going to team back up to take on Wanda, and Wanda's just going to be like, bro, get out of my face.
I was kind of feeling more that that X-Men Last Stand vibe where it's like they're both trying to get her, but Mordo is obviously wanting it for, nefarious reasons, and Doctor Strange is just trying to bring, balance back and not have her destroy the world. And they're like equals a little bit, but they're still, enemies. But we haven't really seen Mordo as a bad guy yet. And that would be fun to okay, it's just bad. He's a bad guy, but he's not a great bad guy yet. He needs a little help.
Let's just hope Wanda doesn't kill Wong. That's all I hope for.
I'll cry. It sets it up to she's gonna be a bad guy for a little bit, which is fun. It's fun that we know she won't be a bad guy forever, but it's neat to see these to take a character that has been so good and then be like, oh, she's a bad guy. I like that. I like that we're like in the edgy. We're being edgy.
We're in the emo phase. Phase 4 is the emo phase.
Oh man, and I'm here for it.
What we saw in WandaVision is just her grieving. Yeah. And to have that sort of power, if she understands it and it consumes her, yeah, she'll be a bad guy, but I don't think it will.
I also think too, I'm curious about, are they going to use her to open up this X-Men door, or are they kind of waiting and doing something else, or will she just be this kind of this tool to open up the multiverse and to you're like an anti-hero? Are they going to do that? And they're like, okay, now after this, now she's going to do X-Men. So it's like there's a lot that they could do, so it'll be interesting to see.
The Vision we know is dead for about the 18th different time, but this time, he first died as a voice, then he died as a body, and now he died as the Mind Stone, basically. And what we end up with White Vision, who is not made of any organic materials. It's all metal. Well, I assume. I don't know if it is or isn't, but they don't really tell us. But he's no longer part human, basically. He is a Vision with memories of the old Vision, and he's just like, peace out, bye. But we know he's super powerful. He's got all the powers that Vision had previously, but now he doesn't have the Mind Stone.
Interesting. We just don't know. Yep. He's like $1 billion+ weapon that they made. Now he's gone rogue.
I don't know. It's just a bunch of question marks, which I'm glad to have.
Yes.
Because I don't want everything to be out in the open answered after 9 episodes. I want more mystery, more intrigue.
Didn't you call like maybe a few weeks ago that the actor that Paul Bettany was talking about was himself, right?
Yeah,
I
I
think you
like.
called that.
I deduced it before he had sort of spoiled it himself.
Yeah.
After episode 8 happened.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Oh, who could it be?" And then it's like, "Oh, it's himself." And I love the Ship of Theseus thing. While so bonkers and hurt my head, that I'm like, I love this. I would love just a show of him doing that, like a Jeopardy style Vision show.
I hope Vision retains sort of the quirky personality that he ascribed to himself when he didn't have any memories. So
Yes,
I hope that remains in some form or fashion, because Paul Bettany is such a great actor.
you forget how good he is because I guess
Yeah.
he's just been in my head Vision so long that I'm like, you forget that he's just been that he's funny, that his comedic timing is brilliant. I love it.
Yeah. Next, we're going to go on to Monica Rambeau. They set up the next Captain Marvel sequel perfectly.
Yep.
In WandaVision, we learned that she's been grounded. She can't go to space anymore. But being thrown out and thrown back into the WandaVision bubble, she gains her superpowers finally. And it's good to see like an origin story that isn't like the main Marvel characters. Origin stories were so overdone for so long that now I'm like, they don't exist anymore. So I'm just like craving them. I want more origin stories of these smaller characters. And I feel like that's what's going to happen with most of Phase 4. We're going to see a lot of origin stories.
I think, and it's just fun too, that it's like, okay, we don't need like this lesson and this bad guy that is pretty much the same as you. You know, like it's fun. It's like, okay, cool. You're good to go. You got your powers. Let's move on. You know, like it's fun. Do we think she's going to be in Miss Marvel?
Maybe. I feel like she could be one of the few characters that can bounce around really easily to all the movies.
Because honestly, I was thinking too, I think when I heard an old friend of your mom's, I was thinking more Sam Jackson, like kind of where like Nick Fury, where we left him off because he was in space after Spider-Man, and that, you know, he's more of that government official who would hear things like that, that she has been grounded.
That very line you're talking about, an old friend, she also kind of was like mad. So I feel like she's mad at Captain Marvel for abandoning them. She didn't really abandon them. She just has to protect the entire universe.
Yeah.
And so that's hard to understand. And it's like losing your best friend when your mom died while you're gone during the snap. Oh my God. Monica has the best story arc so far right now in the new phase.
It was cool in Spider-Man when they came back, but it was kind of treated as a joke a little bit. Like, oh, they're playing basketball, and now the band's just in the middle of it. You know, like that was fun, but it's nice to see some weight finally to this snap too. So that, yeah, man, I think out of all of it, she was probably my favorite bit of the whole thing.
To keep on Monica, we're going to talk about S.W.O.R.D and its implications on the rest of Phase 4 and probably beyond, because obviously they're going to be involved with the multiverse. Darcy and Wu, even though he's not in S.W.O.R.D, but he's directly involved with all that. The multiverse is going to open up. S.W.O.R.D's going to be directly involved, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do. They have no leader anymore because he was put in jail. I know a lot of people are hopeful that this will mean the return of Fantastic Four, but I don't know if it's possible. But I think introducing at least the idea of like the reason the Fantastic Four exist, they got their powers, is because of the multiverse opening.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see like, okay, they've actually been up there for years because of a S.W.O.R.D thing. And now they're, you know, like they're just not coming back, or they were trapped up there or something, you know, like that would be cool. And this, like, it lends that, it's like perfect. It's like, it's not NASA, it's not S.H.I.E.L.D., it's S.W.O.R.D, you know?
And it could be something like it's a post-credit scene and they get their powers and then that's it. And then we meet up with them several years later. Just easy stuff like that.
That would be fun.
Hire us. Hire us.
Please.
Do you not see JD's office? He's got so many windows.
I've got, I mean, at least 2. I'm not going to tell you how many more there are.
I just want to open up the floor to any future possibilities, because there's going to be so much happening in the next few movies. Black Widow's coming out. I know it's in the past, but I assume Florence Pugh is going to take over the mantle as Black Widow. That's going to set up some stuff. Spider-Man 3, the second Spider-Man 3 is going to open up the field entirely, apparently. And so is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. With Thanos, in the first 3 phases, we had a clear idea of what the end goal was. Right now, it's great to not know what the end goal is. It's just good storytelling.
It's fun to kind of be where we were in like 2008, where you're like, okay, like these are cool and I really like it, and you just have no idea, but also have a little like knowing that it's possible and that they've done it before, but also knowing that like I'm going in fresh. I love the connective tissue of the shows. Like it feels like something we needed, something that's like I was just tired of going in and be like, okay, 2 hours, boom, we got what we needed and we're done. Like it's fun to, it just keeps it going. So I'm really excited. I'm excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier.
With Loki, it seems like it's going to be an offshoot, but somehow related in some form or fashion. I don't want him back in the Thor movies, but it would be fun to see him just like somehow connected to something that's happening now.
Loki is our Obi-Wan series. You know, it's like, you know, everyone loves him. He's such a like fan favorite that like we're gonna do a thing with Loki, but everything else feels like it's necessary. Like our Hawkeye series and our Miss Marvel series and our like Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's like we have to get through these to move on and get to something else. Where Loki's like, this is kind of fun, isn't it?
He's like, I'm just a quirky dude now.
And he's like, look at my long hair. And they're like, let's go to a My Chemical Romance concert and let's just be super emo. I didn't know that Phase 4 was going to be so emo, but it's if I could describe Phase 4, probably, I think it's going to be those studded belts, you know, that no one wore through their belt loops.
No, I think it's going to be hold on, see if I can do it.
Oh, you think it's going to be that?
It's going to be this thing. It's going to be that kind of hair, and it's going to be Peter Parker as Venom from Spider-Man 3. That's what Phase 4 is.
Do you really think that Tobey Maguire is not in Spider-Man 3?
I honestly don't care. I've been avoiding the news of Tobey Maguire, and look, I have a dashboard confessional. I just want my dashboard to be clean. I don't want any spoiler. Get the hair out of the way.
I'm gonna leave my hair this way. I'm gonna lose it because you know we didn't talk that Sam Raimi is gonna direct Doctor Strange 2. I will lose my mind if Sam Raimi puts like in credits dashboard confessional, or like maybe he gets Chad Kroger back and the guy from Saliva. Like I just want it so bad. I probably want it too much. That's not gonna happen. But I would love just some early to mid 2000s act closing the credits of Doctor Strange 2.
No thank you. I already went through that once. I don't want to go through it again.
Listen.
Look, you will never be vindicated, okay?
I dare you.